place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race.
Hi people.
Hi guys, welcome to today's video. For those who don't know me or who are here for the first time, my name is Kadogo and I'm here with
Blue.
She's my sister.
Yes.
And today we have a new video for you guys.
Yes.
Today we're going to be talking about my rules for 2026 or our rules for 2026. So these are not necessarily hard rules, but we could say for the past year, that these are the things that we have learned over the past year. So these are the things that we're focusing on for 2026 so that our year is better. And each person has 3 points. So I'd like you to start with your points. What's your rule number 1 for 2026?
Okay, so I think one of my rules is checking energy. And by checking energy, I mean, what is the energy space, my energy space? What are the kinds of people in terms of friends, in terms of acquaintances, in terms of potential partners?
Yeah.
Do I want around me? Do I want people who are not real with themselves or who don't try? Do I want people who try? Do I want people who are truthful and are accountable to themselves? Do I want people who are not accountable? What exactly do I want in any interaction that I'm involved in? Because we don't ask ourselves those questions many times. Who is around us? So we suck each other's energies.
Yeah.
So what I want is not to have persons outside sucking my energy, draining my energy. And I give positivity. Myself, I don't drain anybody's energy, and I give positivity as well. So that I think I can see that for me.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
I have a similar point, but mine will come later. My rule number 1 for 2026, my rule 1 and only, is don't get fat. So this statement can be interpreted in different ways depending on the person, but I interpret it as fat in this sense would be letting yourself go. Don't let yourself go. And here I'm thinking about self-love, I'm thinking about self-respect, I'm thinking about self-control. Getting fat is, for me, letting yourself go. So I would tell myself, Lisa, look at the mirror and you be proud of yourself. Have self-control. Begins, of course, with food, but it spills along to other areas of your life. Are you letting yourself go in this way, or are you letting yourself go in the other way? So all in all, my rule of don't get fat is basically always live in a way where you're proud of yourself, where you can look at yourself in the mirror and you can be happy with yourself. And we women, we know that no matter what we say out here, no matter, all these body positivity, at the end of the day, you alone, you go to that bed, you put your head on the pillow, and you know very well if you're happy with yourself or you're not happy with yourself. So I tell myself, Kadogo, live in such a way where you are happy with yourself, where you're proud of yourself, because our bodies are temples, mind, body, soul. And if you've visited temples, I personally have visited a Hindu temple, those places are clean. They are whitewashed. They're kept spick and span. And if our body is a temple, or at least that's how it is in our scripture, on other holy books as well, probably it's the same. But if your body is supposed to be a temple, then I think the first thing that this temple deserves is self-respect and self-love. And for me, it would begin with food. The body, a person's body, if you see them in town or wherever you see a person, you can just tell this person takes good care of themselves. Not in a vain way, not in a flashy fashion. Yeah, it's not about fashion. It's not about all that. It's about you close your door, you enter your house, and you're happy with yourself. And back to my original point, self-love, self-control. So, and this message is very important, I believe, especially for the younger people. I'm not telling anyone what to do. These are just my rules. But I think for the younger people and for the Gen Zs, right now, there's so many trends that come. There's this injection. What is the name of this injection? Yeah, we have Ozempic. We have some people are doing liposuction and all. To each person his own, to each her own. But I don't know if there's any shortcut for true hard work and true self-control. Because after all the Ozempics, after all the tummy tucks, after all the BBLs, and you're happy with yourself externally, you're now getting validation from other people. You're probably even happy with yourself. I think you still have to train self-control so that you're truly healthy from the inside. Because what's the point of looking snatched on the outside and then internally maybe the food that a person consumes is not healthy. So within the body, there's no health. For me, therefore, this is not only a rule for 2026. This has been a rule a long time in my life, and this is a rule going forward. Stay lean, stay fit, and keep on loving yourself and keep on respecting yourself. This is what I tell myself when I look in the mirror, and I can say I'm very happy with myself. I'm very proud of myself. It's a journey, and I know instinctively there is no shortcut. Don't get fat. What's your rule number 2?
Yes. Okay. So my rule number 2 is for long-term satisfaction. That's what I've been thinking also.
Yeah.
For long-term satisfaction, it's better to adhere to values. Values, we could say virtues, you could say abstract qualities, but things like self-control, things like patience, things like temperance, being moderate in how you consume technology, moderate in how you talk, for example, moderate in how you eat. And what Kadogo has just talked about is an aspect of what Kadogo has talked about being fat. Moderate in how drinking as well, smoking habits, in anything. You have to be a bit moderate. So you have to have temperance, so that you're able to have some level of self-control, and then your life becomes better.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I do realize that I'm in a physical material world. Yes, I love good things. I love having a beautiful phone. I love having a beautiful clothes, beautiful books, beautiful shoes, making my hair.
Yeah.
Yes, these things are important, but I do not want to tie my identity to them. That's so that when I lose a phone, my life ends literally because I've lost a phone. These things are matters of the world. They don't take you anywhere. They take you only so far based on what we accept in our mind to do because of social class, status, etc. But at the end of the day, when you sleep at night and you feel like you have had self-control, you've not overdone Netflix. You've put aside some time. If you're a novel reader, you put aside some time to read your novel.
Yeah.
You've indulged in the story, exercised your imagination, slept, prayed to your God. For those who pray, for those who don't believe, you have different ways of dealing with
meditation.
Maybe meditation, yes.
Yeah.
And when you've done those things, or when you've had a healthy balance across board, the material and the spiritual, or whatever it is that people believe, I think that's a very beautiful thing. So for me, it's very important for me to have my goal to be more on towards the values and virtues and abstract qualities.
I like that, and I believe in that also. Maybe that's why we are so similar. Yeah. There's this saying that people say money doesn't make you happy. Well, yeah, money gives freedom. Money does make you happy in a way. But I think in my experience, after you get the money, you're not living with the money here. We're not sleeping with the money in the bed. It's used for investments and it's kept away. But who are you apart from that money? When I think about it, maybe that's the reason why some people who are successful and wealthy, they'll still report unhappiness and depression just like everyone else. So you wonder, this person has so much money, how come they're not happy? Because in my experience, and that's what I agree with your point, there are some other values that there's just no shortcuts here. Developing patience and self-control, being satisfied also with your little, or if you have a lot, as in other values that almost, let me just say, the things that money can't buy seem to be the things that make you truly happy. So you don't really go looking for validation. And then now when you add a Mercedes Benz and you add like millions, then it's now you're truly happy on the inside and on the outside, because everyone is admiring your big car, your nice body, your Louis Vuitton bag. And when you put that bag back in the closet, you're miserable. And yet you're the only person who can make yourself happy. I like that point. Yeah.
That's amazing. So,
yes.
So, before the break, Kadogo was to share now, after the break that is, Kadogo is now to share with us her second point. What is the second point, Kadogo?
My second point was almost tied to what Blue said. Blue talked about energy. And for me, my second point would be, if it doesn't serve you, cut it off. When you hear this sentence, you think, people, it's here. We get excited quickly because we know, I can cut this person and this person and this person off. Yeah, that's one aspect of it. My rule for 2026, if it does not serve me, and if it's taking away my energy, and if it's draining me, and if it has no purpose, I cut it off. And that can be people, of course. That's the easiest step. Deleting the numbers and ignoring people. Okay, that's the easiest step. But the more difficult step, coming closer to home, if a behavior I have doesn't serve me, I just cut it off. The beauty about growing up and the beauty about adulthood is when you realize, wait, actually, I'm the one who's responsible for my life. There's no one out there, no matter who, can give me the kind of life I want. You write down your goals, and you pray and pray and pray about them. And then you realize even God needs your faith. Like, you need to do something to get those goals, you see. And if you think deeper, then you realize that, wait, there are some things that I'm doing maybe that are like sabotaging my own self. So if there are these things, I talk to myself, Kadogo, if there are these things in your life, as a rule for 2026, cut them off very quickly. You know what they are. Each person, I think, knows these things in their life that they don't serve you, they don't serve your purpose. Is it a bad habit? Is it a friendship that doesn't make any sense? Is it sometimes even a goal that's taking your life in a different place? Is it a relationship that's just not making any sense? Yeah, cut it off completely. And I remind myself this every time so that I let things go very quickly, and I can now learn from the right sources, which I'll also talk about in point number 3. And then life can change quicker, because I really like, and I'm very happy with myself and my life right now, because the things that I want, I write them down and then I do them, and I'm like, wow, life changes as quickly as you yourself put measures in place to change your own life. So it's almost as if true prayer is preparation, like praying, wishing, yearning. You're there praying. Praying is okay; it has its place, but the true prayer is preparation. When the opportunity comes, it will go to the person who's fully prepared rather than the person who's just waiting for it. So yeah, that's my second rule for 2026. If it doesn't serve you, cut it off very quickly, because you might be the one holding yourself back. So, yep.
Yeah, and I think Kadogo has put it very well. And maybe if I just add, and that's why, based on what Kadogo is saying, that's why every time, and now moving forward, we pick it for ourselves. We are doing it for ourselves. You choose what you're going to do for yourself. But sometimes people have made videos of, older persons have made videos on what happened, what happened to me when I was younger. These are things I didn't know, now I know. I think sometimes when you have an opportunity to not wait until you're 90 years old to get a certain concept, if you're able to practice it at this time, it requires a lot of self-control. It's not easy, what Kadogo is saying, cut someone off. It's not easy because you know everybody, and unfortunately, this is the bitter truth. It's fine, everyone has their own opinions, but to some extent, people are using each other for various things. Are you genuinely with that person you call a friend? Are you genuinely with them because you're not getting anything at all from them? Or what exactly are you getting from them? Sometimes there are people who are only getting energy. You have a positive energy, you wake up in the morning, you think your day through, you say, this is how I'm going to be, I'm going to behave a certain way, think a certain way, and then you have that particular person who is very disorganized and doesn't know how to think in the morning, then comes to you and says, Kadogo, please help me with this, I need this. No, when you need that, what have you done to be able to give yourself before you've come to Kadogo to ask her, or you've come to me? Yes. So I think it's a life of, when right now at this point, there's no age that you start. When you have common sense, and I think you're now 18 and above, and you now have the ability to think and to read, then read and now start practicing for yourself in terms of, what do I want? Am I with this person for the right reasons? Am I not? What exactly am I getting? It's good to be genuine. If you're with this friend because they are smarter, for example, they're smarter than you, and you're with them to get the value, because not that you're dumber. No one is calling anybody dumb, but you are less intellectually gifted. And you need this person to pass the exam. If you're with that, then say that for yourself. But don't pretend that it's something different, and then you'll find yourself draining someone's energy. So I think we should all be very keen on whoever it is, be it a friend, be it a family member, be it an acquaintance, be it a partner, a potential partner. Who exactly are you when you present yourself to this person? Who are they when they present themselves to you?
I've thought about something as Blue is speaking.
Continue.
And maybe very few people would do this, but I personally, I think carefully, am I bringing value to the other person's life? Personally, I don't like phone calls a lot. But just personally, I like probably text or nothing at all. But I noticed, like in the last year, a lot of times when you receive a phone call like that would just waste your time, because there's nothing valuable, like we are saying. It's nice to get to know kujulia mtu hali. But I think for me, I think it's better, I ask myself, am I adding value to this person? If not, then I just keep to my own company, I do my own thing. We don't all have to be perfect, no? But maybe this is another part of adulthood, where you just think a bit deeper of everything around, like, what's the point of this and this? It's better to spend 5 minutes with a person and the conversation is valuable than to spend 2-3 hours and the conversation is pointless. If the conversation is pointless and the friendship is pointless, or my own behaviors are pointless and it's taking you nowhere, so just going round and round year after year, you're making new resolutions. No, it doesn't make sense. So I think I'm happy to say there's a point in life where you're like, everything has to stop, no matter how bad it is in someone's life. From that point, just pausing and saying, you start cleaning by removing the trash from around you and from within you, and then everything will get better. So that's the most beautiful season in life, I think. And it takes a lot of internal work, but I find that the most satisfactory thing. So that's why that's a rule going forward.
Okay. Perfect. That is
Perfect.
amazing.
Yeah.
And that those points conclude our second section.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Small breather again.
Yeah.
You just go and drink water or some drinking chocolate or something.
It's a deep conversation.
Yes, and then stay tuned for our third section.
Okay.
We'll see you later.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Hello, people. We are back.
Yes, you're back. And we have our third points each. So what's your third rule for 2026?
Okay, so my third rule came about after a discussion with a friend of mine in where I work, who has had a gentleman friend of mine who has had experiences, and we're having this type of discussions. And the point was to say, never say never. I never thought for me, I would be a type of person to never say never.
Yeah.
I've been a type of person to say never a lot of times.
Never people.
Yeah, never. Quite rigid.
Yeah.
Here and there saying, no, I'll never. This
Yeah.
I'll never. No, never. No. I still have my never moments, 100%, but I'm starting to be a little bit more flexible mentally and having eternal vigilance. Eternal vigilance means I just check out in this experience, why am I saying never? It's not that I want to experience it because there's some things that are negative. Not that I want to experience it, but I want to see what I want to take all the values, to take everything, to take all of life experiences, then analyze them and not just block them from the beginning. So, for example, when I learned how to drive, I said I never, ever, ever want to enter a Pro Box.
Yeah.
So, and I drove in a Pro Box, Rocky driving school.
In a Pro Box.
Driving school, and it was a Pro Box. So, just one example of never will I, but I found myself. So yes, but I would hope that the never would be for things that would harm me.
Yeah.
And I would not want to experience things that, there can be some nevers.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to have some nevers, but the never has to come after a lot of mental analysis.
Yeah.
I think I would say that. Yes. Kadogo, back to you.
We're getting deep.
Yes.
Yeah. So my third rule for 2026 is learn from the right people. And top of my mind, I'm thinking of Lynn Ngugi. Though Kenyans, you know her, maybe also some people, Western people or internationally, she's known. But let me get back to my point. Learn from the right people. Growing up here in Kenya or in Africa, you know our history as Kenyans or Africans and colonialism and all that. And we get a lot of Western influence on how we live. That, you know, media, films, you go to the cinema, fashion, the way we speak, we tend to emulate Westerners a lot. And then you come to a point in your life, or me at least, or some people, you start to think, does this really make sense? But only when you go and live with the Westerners, like I did in the times when I've lived abroad, you start to wonder, wait, what is our identity? And I'll say this clearly, for those people who live abroad, they know what I'm talking about. For those who don't or haven't had the experience, I would like to say it would be good to have that experience. This is not all Westerners, but the reality on the ground for people in diaspora is that the people there in that country will, let's never say never, but the most time you will not be valued equally ever. So you try so hard, you integrate, you learn the language, you do everything, you're still always going to be seen a certain way. So what helped me, I knew that going there, I was already given that tip by my mom, who had also lived abroad. So I went there already comfortable with myself, comfortable with in my own skin, comfortable in my African and Kenyan identity. So there I wasn't a Luo, there I was a Kenyan and I was an African, very proud. Of course, you'll have to learn the language. Of course, you'll speak the language very well so that you can be understood and everything. But there are some things I started to consciously stick to the African way. You would dress up and I would put on my African jewelry, these Maasai jewelry. And you'd find it interesting when you're fully yourself, then they will come to you and say, where are you from? This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. So everyone has their own style there. This is not about style or fashion. This is about, at the end of the day, learn not only that the Western way is right, but we also had our own way. We also had our own tradition, our way of eating, our own religion, our way of doing things. I'm starting to go back to that a lot. And why I mentioned Lynn Ngugi is because I've referenced to her previously, but I love her current series where she's sparking thoughts in people to go back to their heritage and their identity and owning land. You see, when you think about it, we leave all our land, we go to the cities, the young people, we go abroad, we look for work, and then we leave those massive tracts of land, and then Westerners come, or Israelis, and then they lease a lot of land. So it's like, it's a beautiful country. It's unfortunate, and the only thing you learn that is wrong with our nation is the mentality, maybe, and the leadership. and the normalization of corruption, so that we have a lot of resources and we have the most beautiful everything, and then everything is just wasted. So now young people have to run away. So learn from the right people, for me, means that we need to relearn a lot of who are we as Africans, so that even as you go abroad or even as you live here, you know exactly who you are, where did you come from, what's our history like, what's our things, our traditions, our cultures, our languages, our food, our way of doing, even our way of worshiping, and our gods and our ancestors. That's also very valid. It's not only the Western way. And that's very important, because if you keep on going around the world copying every Western country, you'll never know who you really are. This third rule for myself, I couldn't have had it if I had not gone to live with the Westerners. And you will fit in until you're tired. You'll never be, or you won't really be seen as an equal. So it's interesting. You spend 5 years of your life, and every day you wonder if you'll be seen as good enough when you're already good enough in your home country. Think about it. Those who have not traveled, travel and you'll see. Learn from the right people means our grandfathers, our grandmothers, our own history, people like creators like Lynn Boogie. We learn what is the African way, who are we really, so that you don't have to keep losing yourself or copying other people. We have a beautiful identity, and when you're truly yourself, even the Westerners themselves will admire. Nobody can admire you when you're copying them, but they admire you when you're truly yourself. So that is my third rule for 2026, and that I think will be a rule moving forward, because I'll still travel, but I'll travel always knowing exactly who I am.
Exactly. And to just add to Kadogo's small statement after is, then that means, because of Kadogo's experience, that means you be very careful as you travel out, even as you engage with another person, as you live with another person, as you want a friendship from this person, what exactly do you want from the other individual? Isn't it? Because if you're going to abroad, specifically, part of your reason to going to abroad is not just working. You're going to work, but you're going to seek validation as well. You will not get the validation that you're seeking. It's interesting, because even here in Africa, we might, even if we don't live abroad, for anyone who has not gone abroad and is not planning to go abroad and doesn't live in abroad, if you seek validation from someone else, you'll be seeking for the rest of your life. You'll never get the validation. People look for validation from parents. You look for validation from a sibling. You look for validation from a friend. You always are working on empty. You're like a car that is traveling without gas. So you're running on empty fumes all the time. So it means, I like what Kadogo has said, if you're going 100% authentically yourself to any encounter, it doesn't matter what you get. Is it racism? Is it ethnic issues? Because we have ethnicity issues here. Someone does not like that you look like a Luo and you're a Luo, and your history, there's a history of ABCD. It does not matter. Someone comes to you and gives you these we call them vices. Let's call them vices. These vices that don't mean anything at the end of the day, because when people have died and gone to the ground, things like ethnicity don't matter. The color of your skin doesn't matter. Which church you went to, whether you go to church or not, doesn't matter. But if you make these things matter so much, then you will be seeking validation all through. So I love what Kadogo has said in terms of be authentically yourself. And we are not perfect. We work on it every single day, but work on it. That's what you said, eternal vigilance. Work on it every day, so that am I living today in this moment? Do I want to wear this top? Yes, I want to wear this top, regardless of whether that man in the gate once likes the color. I don't care if they like the color. I love this top. That's what I'm going to wear. Embrace that. Embrace the negative. Embrace the positive, because you will never make this world perfect. And I think that's what
very important. Very important. Go wherever you go, but go knowing who you are, if possible. It's difficult to say, but just know yourself before you go. I can't say don't go somewhere before knowing yourself. But even if you don't know yourself, you go. Maybe you try to copy the Westerners. You'll see. You'll see how you get treated there when you're trying to copy it. Go as yourself. Know yourself, love yourself, and even things like racism, which you'll experience there, will sting a bit less, because you'll understand that these things are about them. It is not about me. You are created perfect. We each have our own homes. Ukona kwako, na ukona kwao. You see. So this is a point for the diasporans and for those who like to travel, but also for the young people. Just know yourself. Let's start learning also from each other as Africans. And when we are very vibrant Africans with our dance, with our culture. We abandon it all. We copy other people. So I think it's better to be comfortable with ourselves.
Yes, 100%.
That was all for today.
Yes.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. It was nice, and we'll catch you later. Thank you very much from me, Kadogo, and
Blue. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.